All right, coming to you live, Universal Mastery. I'm with my boy Fabian right now, and we are just going to jump off on this topic of, once again, hold on, just to recap it. Once again, we don't have a set frame for any of these podcasts. We're not going to jump into this shit like this is what we're going to talk about and that's all we're going to talk about. We're going to start somewhere, and then from there, it's going to go fucking AWOL. It's going to get chaotic. It's also going to be structured, and it's going to be confident and truthful. Okay, so all this shit that's coming out is some real fucking shit. So pay attention, buckle in your fucking seats, get ready for this fucking roller coaster. There's going to be ups and downs. Learn how to grasp what we're saying, and then most importantly, take what we're saying, embody your shadow of basically what I'm saying by that. Be aware while you're watching this video. Be in that energy of straight awareness, so that after this video, after you've listened to it maybe multiple times, then you can go in your real life and apply these same concepts that we're talking about. But without further ado, the first thing I want to talk about, Fabian, is let's talk about healing. What is your view on how to heal properly? Like, let's say this. I'll put a little context to it. So say, coming from our perspective, we live very chaotic lives, yet we are asking for the chaos because we're trying to grow. So, we're constantly inviting this chaos into our life consciously, willfully, because we know that we can handle it and learn from it. So when you get to a certain point of you feel like it's so much chaos and it's just all coming at you at once, we always handle it. We never break. We never hit that end point. It just doesn't happen for us. But there does come that point where it's like a little bit exhausting. So how do you heal from that and then really just soak it in so that you can recharge and then jump back in?
Well, we all heal differently. Some of us need to get hit. The chaos needs to hit us, and we need to take a few steps back to become hungrier and to attack it even harder. Some of us need that hit. Some of us need to take a few steps back. Some of us have figured out a way we're more advanced, and we have figured out a way to pace ourselves, for lack of a better word. It all depends on the person. It all depends on the person. It all depends on what level you're at. For real.
So how do you do it? What's your approach to healing?
To healing, I don't like to call it healing. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Okay, let me rephrase it then. Regenerating.
Regenerate, exactly. So a great way to regenerate for a lot of people is different. For me, honestly, if you want me to be 100% real with you,
always.
I haven't been asking for the challenges, and I haven't been asking for the pressure and the stress so I can grow for a long time. This is something new. Me asking for the challenges and the pressure and the constant battles, me asking for that is fairly new to me, because I just recently found out the rewards that are given. So this is not a position that I have mastered yet. I'm at the point where I don't know the limit. I don't know the limit, and then the challenges hit me, and I take a few steps back, get hungrier, and then attack. I haven't found that sweet spot yet.
Oh, interesting. That's really interesting, because that's actually very similar to where I'm at too. Is I feel like that's one of the main things that I need to work on, is figuring out that sweet spot that you're talking about. Like I know, and I know this is the same for you. Like with that chaos, it's like we are literally like different human beings than most people when it comes to this being able to embrace that chaos. Because like I can be on go and just fucking climb and just go. But then I know even when I'm going that it is a little more important at this time to maybe take a step back and just like
you told me slow and steady wins the race. You told me your experience with slow and steady wins the race. And that's where you find your sweet spot, when you pace yourself. Sometimes you get so hungry, boom, you hit it like that. You get that stress, you get those challenges, and you win most of them. But then you might hit that one that takes you a few steps back, you know. And it's all about finding that sweet spot, keeping that. It's an equal balance between hunger and wisdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that yin and yang because just some people want to be patient. Some people feel like when you're hungry, you're not patient. When you're hungry, you're fucking all the way in. You have to find that equal balance between hunger, motivation, and patience at the same time. It's they're fucking opposite. So you might ask me, how do you find that balance? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's interesting because recently for myself, what I've been realizing is that as of very recently, actually, like I want to say like a month ago, I've been coming up with these ideas of I'm gonna spend 4 days into this really intense, I'm in it to win it attitude. Like of in the sense, I'm always in that attitude. That's always my baseline. But in the sense of just I'm here to like just be in my shadow body and embrace all these situations and just eat my challengers. Like I'm here to just eat it. Like give me my trauma. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna just it all in this moment. So presently aware. I'm tapping into all. And I'll spend 4 days. I will tell myself, and this is recent, like now I'm starting to set up more structure to it because I feel like I've earned the point to be able to find balance now. Now, at first, I feel like a lot of people coming into this type of awareness that we're speaking about between this balance of, one side is really aware and being hungry and eating your challenges. And then the other side is, just kind of just calming your mind a little bit more and just regenerating so that you can prepare for the next traumas to learn from. I feel like you have to earn that point because coming into this awareness in the beginning in general, you're coming into it unbalanced already. So you're most likely coming into it in that light body state, which is that guru state that you've been indoctrinated in, where it's like, okay, I'm just like going through the motions. My emotions are driving my life. Your third eye may be open, you may be wise, you may have wisdom, but you don't know what your shadow body is. You don't know those two different types of energies. You don't know how to willingly tap into your past traumas. So what I was getting at is you do have to earn this ability. And I feel like recently I'm starting to get context for the way of like I'll spend 4 days, as I said, into that shadow body, and then I'll consciously tell myself, okay, after that fourth day, I'm going to spend like maybe three days into my regenerative state, even though it's because once again, it's like I always want to be in my shadow body. It's just natural. Maybe it's because we're also younger.
You see how you're putting one stage on one side and another stage on the other? The hungry stage and then the regeneration stage. I have this kind of philosophy that you can balance both they both can coexist. It's like the perfect balance when you need to work very hard to get where you want to be. You have to be very hungry, but to keep the mentality that whatever happens, you're going to be all right. You know what I mean? If you hold that mentality that if whatever happens, regardless of what happens, you're going to be all right, but you still remain hungry and attack those goals and receive that stress and go all the way in. Once that patience and that hunger can coexist. They don't have to be a patient stage and a hungry stage.
Yeah. That's the key. What you're talking about, that's where you want to be. That is exactly the essence. That is it. They are meant to coexist. The stage that I'm in is it's definitely an alchemical learning experience. So I know what it's like to have them coexist. I know what you're talking about. I know what that state is, and that's where it's supposed to be. That's where it should be. But in order to strengthen the coexistence of those two energies, you have to fully understand both of them, right? So I'm jumping into this and I'm jumping into that in extremes. Exactly. And I'm learning each one in extreme manners.
Some people might find that too difficult. That's why I say to each his own. Some people
Yeah,
have to go to the coexisting phase off rip. That's
that's
their
right.
learning. That's their learning. And for you, you find it more beneficial to get extreme on both ends. Who's to say who's more powerful? I mean, I'm not the arbiter of truth.
Yeah,
But
well, this is interesting that we're talking about this because, man, do you resonate with? I know you resonate with what I'm talking about like there's the two sides. Do you feel like, because this is my view on it, and you let me know if this coincides with yours. I feel like you have to somewhat get to a point of understanding these two sides and jumping into before you can even coexist in the first place, right? Does that resonate with you?
um, yeah, I mean, I mean, we could only really speak on our experiences. We can speak on others as well, but only others that we resonate with. Some people don't know what it feels like to have that wisdom that no matter what happens, I'm gonna be all right kind of patient.
Exactly.
And then they don't know what that feels like. All they know is the hunger. Give me the pressure, give me the stress. And then let it knock me 2 steps back. And then I'll get even hungrier and then go full fledged. That's all they know. They don't know the other side. So for those type of people, it'll be good to get the other extreme. So you can have them both coexist. But what about the people that know a little bit about both? What do they do then? They just take, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I guess it's interesting because I do feel like, man, I feel like this definitely is some sort of it. I know this. It is definitely some form of spiritual initiation. It is definitely some form of this alchemical initiation that you then unlock within yourself, and you get this understanding that we're talking about. Now, I'm trying to figure out, like, is there a certain like structure to this initiation in the sense of one of these things comes before the other? That's what I'm trying to figure out because, man, like for me, I guess like I knew this. Like I knew how to first. Once again, it came first to the reptilian mind. I think that's the first experience of kind of just being one-minded, which is just like primal, and you don't really, you're not jumping anywhere. You're just here, and you're like, that's it. That's what I got to do. And then after that, you kind of learn a little bit more of like maybe the light body, and you maybe can learn a little bit more about the dark. Like it starts to like, oh, you start to get this understanding of like, whoa, this is my thoughts in this moment, and then this is my thoughts in this moment. They're very different. One's really dark and one's really light. I'm not judging them. They're just coming. It's a part of my nature. And then from that point, for me, when I was in that point, then I got an ability. This was my experience. I got the ability to tap into my shadow body, like very consciously. Like I could tap into this energy of just hunger, eat my traumas, and that came. Oh my God, this is weird, man. That came first, and then subconsciously, I got the ability to tap into my light body.
I
I
don't know
wasn't aware.
why, but
Yeah,
for me, I want them both to coexist. Like I felt like I had a taste of both sides already. That what would be better for me is to have them coexist because I'm hungry. I'm bringing the stress into my life, and I'm trying to handle it as best as possible for the growth. But I
that's
also
what I'm saying.
hold
Yeah,
that energy. I also am starting to hold the energy that no matter what happens, it's going to be all right. And I'll keep my
yeah,
high
yeah.
energy. I'll keep my high energy. I'll keep it.
That's the key. Like once again, yeah. That's the key. The coexisting is the whole end goal. That's where you want to be. But what I'm saying is like during the beginning stages, whether you're conscious of it or unconscious of it, because in my experience, I wasn't even conscious that I was tapping into my light body and my dark body simultaneously.
Yeah.
I wasn't conscious, but I knew that I figured out an ability. That's all I knew at that time.
We know that it's working, but we're not aware of exactly what's working.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're doing it by
and
instinct. We're doing it by instinct.
yeah. And this is what I think is where the power really lies. Once it not only becomes instinct, but when it can then become will. Like I will this to happen. So right now at the place I'm at, I can will this and I can will that, the two opposites. but it's working towards being able to will the coexistence. I'm not there yet. I haven't hit that yet, but that's what I'm working towards. And I find that interesting, man. Like, I don't, this seems like a very common thread, though. It seems like, this initiation alchemical process of unleashing ancient wisdom within our genetic codes and bloodlines. We all go through this very similar process, which is what I find really fascinating. We may do it at different times in slightly different ways. And we definitely use different mechanics to be able to access this. But it's all very similar when it comes to that consciousness of, this is that like trauma embracement in that shadow body. And then this is that light body where it's more like regenerative and flow states. But yet you need both of them. You need both of them to really be the fucking best and be your true self.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And yeah.
You can't just focus on one extreme. You have to focus on both. When should they coexist in your life? All depends on the person and the level that they're at. So that, it's funny because to each his own, it really is. So we can't tell you which is the stage that you should start with. We can't tell you where you should be because we don't know where you have lived. We don't know what you have done. We don't know the mentality that you have. But we can give you both perspectives right now, from us. And you understand it. And ask yourself, where are you? Where are you? You know what I mean? Have you just been this patient, nonchalant person who stood away from stress your whole life? Or have you been that hungry person who added it to receive the challenges? Both of them have their challenges. They do. And when are you going to make them coexist? Are you going to focus on the opposite extreme first? Or are you going to try to dive in nice and slow with one of them? I mean, there's just so many options, and it's that trial and error that you have to do throughout your whole life to become the best you and to recreate yourself.
That was perfectly worded for sure. Now, if you could define what I like to call the light body, and you know what I'm saying when I speak of these terms. What is your how would you define the light body?
The light body. The light body, man. Like you stated before, sometimes you're in that body and you're not aware. And I found myself like that in the dark body and the light body, back and forth throughout the whole day. But I'm not physically telling myself what body I'm in while it's happening. So I'm doing it. But my awareness, this is where it all comes down to awareness. Your awareness has to be as strong. So you can basically pinpoint where you're at when you're there. And I have failed to do that. I'm not going to lie to you. I have failed to do that. And that's the reason why I'm not as powerful as I could be. But Jared has that awareness. And that's why he can tell you.
And it started, once again, it started with me not being aware of it. Now I think that's part of that structure that I was just talking about. Like, it has to be that it's got to start somewhere. And you're usually not, I don't think anyone first going into this alchemical change is aware of it at first. It has to happen first subconsciously. And then once your subconscious comes to the surface, if you're aware enough, you'll eventually realize, oh, that's my light body. Because your light body will come out of your subconscious, like my hand. Look at my hand. It'll creep up, and then you'll still be like living your day life. Maybe a month later down the road, you're like, oh, there it is. It like, okay, I see it now. Okay, this is what I'm tapping into. Okay, this is it. This is it. This is what I'm learning. Okay, cool. Now it comes down. Now you know how to shift your energy, and you feel different. It's all about feeling. You feel different. Oh, here's my shadow body. Oh, there it is. Like, I know my shadow. Okay, this is weird. Okay, okay, I'm tapping into this. This serves me in this moment. Okay, let me be my light body in this situation. Okay, go back. Now let me be my shadow body in this situation when I need more structure, when I need to embrace these past traumas and maybe stand up to somebody that's really trying to stop me in my path. And then, once I handle that situation, that challenge that comes in front of me, put my shadow body back in and embrace the light body and just go with the ebbs and flow of life. I like to also think of it.
Myself, to be honest, in my shadow body, way more than I'm in my light body. And like I said, there's two extremes. Um, I know what it feels like to be in a light body, but you know, I totally know what it feels like to be in a shadow body, more so than the light body. So I might need to go through the extremes for focusing on a light body and then have them coexist, with awareness. Now, a little fear comes into play for some of you because you know what you can accomplish in the shadow body. So you
Yeah.
might not want to go through the extremes of sticking with the light body. You might not want to because you might feel like you're at a point in your life where it's not necessary. You're getting the things that you want through the shadow body. Now, Jared, what do you do in that position?
Dude, I was just going to answer that, dude. I'm so glad you brought that up because I'll give you the way that I would handle that. And to give a little bit of context of where I'm at, I'm at a place of this very spiritual initiation. We can talk about this later in this podcast, but I'm at a place where I'm actually being forced to learn how to tap into these. So, for example, if I tap too much into my shadow body now, it'll stop serving me at a point. I won't get as much abundance that I should because it's training me to tap into my light body. So I literally have to find balance. Now, on your end, I know what it's like to be abundant in the shadow body. And when that happens, I am always in my shadow body. Like I am always in that. And I think that is that's the essence of black magic, the shadow body. That is dark magic. That is you saying your will, being in control of your will and affecting other people through what you're speaking, because what you're speaking most likely is so convicted and confident and you know it's true that other people hear it. And when they're in their daily floaty consciousness life, they want to grasp onto what you're saying because there's literally energetic power in what you say. So to answer your question, I would say keep riding the shadow body. Like if you're getting the results, I would say ride the shadow body as hard as you can. Get everything you can out of it. Create as much chaos as you possibly can and embrace it all.
But I also have to embrace the light body to get that balance and that patience of knowing going with the flow is beneficial as well.
So this is what I was gonna say. Yes. So this is what I was gonna say. Because for you, it's you can handle a lot. For anyone listening, embrace that body. If you can build the context of what me and Fabian are talking about right now, build that or exercise that shadow body muscle as hard as you can till it literally gets you to a point where you feel like you're going to break and you have to tap into your light body, because that is when you're supposed to tap into your light body.
And vice versa. When you feel like the patience, and you feel like the light body, and just going with the flow, stress free. When you feel like that is not getting you what you want, then embrace the shadow body. Get the stress, get the challenges, go forward, get hungry. I mean, vice versa, man. It works both ways. And I definitely have gotten hit with the challenges where if I would have focused on that light body just a little bit more, I would have never hit that barrier and took those steps back. So I'm learning with you guys. I really am. You guys are helping me learn.
Yeah, but once again, and this, those challenges that you're creating for yourself, you're handling them, and there's every single one is serving you, and I know you know this.
I mean, my past traumas are serving me well.
They're serving, man. Like it's amazing to be able to speak the way we speak because it's so real, and like I remember what it was like not being aware of what we're talking about now, and like people, do you remember that state? I don't know if you know this. I mean, I'm sure you've experienced that state of hopelessness that you feel when you don't know how to tap into all, when you don't know how to tap into that straight up awareness where you're like, I am in control. Nothing that anyone else tells me fucking matters, but what I think and what I say with my own intention is what I create. And that's my fucking life. I don't care about any of that. You got to have that before you even want to worry about your light body, because most and once again, most people in society are being run by that light body, just that consciousness of open-mindedness to this extent of influence. They're just open to indoctrination. They're being told what to do, and they're just going in that direction. They don't have any solid foundation. They have no grounding. They're not like,
they're
okay.
going with the flow because it's easy. It's written for them.
Yep. Yeah.
It's written for them. And if what is written for you works,
Ooh.
if what is written for you works, let me know, because I have yet to find a person.
And let's define. Yeah, and let's define like written for you what like if it works, because some of these people will claim that it works even though they're living mediocre lifestyle.
Deep down inside, it don't work. They know they know that they're lusting for more. They just don't know what it's like to dive into the shadow body and get that hunger.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
You know?
Yeah, dude. And
one extreme, it's easy. You know, it's so mentally exhausting trying to focus on both, have them both coexist and go from one extreme to another. I mean, it's so exhausting, but that's the reason why it works, man. You know, the pressure, the stress. Muscles, you build them under stress. Diamonds, you need pressure. You know, you need the pain to grow. And, I'm not preaching on a fucking stage to a bunch of Christians right now. I mean, this is real life shit. You know what I mean? This is not coming out of the Bible. It really is.
Shit, man. If we keep this shit up, we might be on a stage speaking to a bunch of Christians, even though it's not in a church. They might just be listening to us like, oh my God, we need to change our life. We need to open our mind to the truth. Because anyone listening to this, doesn't matter what you believe in, you're resonating with this right now. And it's creating a fire in you, because this is universal alchemy we're talking about. This is not just me and his experience. It is our experience, but everything we speak in life is an experience. So when you have someone come up to you and they're like, oh, that's just your experience. Like, I get what they're saying. They're saying like, oh, that's just your experience. But what are we always communicating? Everyone on a daily basis is just communicating their experience. Now, then you have to ask yourself the question, some experiences are so common that maybe there might be a universal principle that's involved with this experience. And that's what we're talking about. And that's all we talk about. You look at my fucking YouTube channel, it's called Universal Mastery. It's not called Opinion Mastery. It's called Universal. This is real, like gravity. I love using this example. I love it. Gravity. I'll take something and drop it. It's going to fall. To most people, it's going to fucking fall. To most, like 99.9% people, they're going to take something and drop it and it's going to hit the ground. But there is motherfuckers in that 1% out of this whole entire world, which actually adds up to a pretty good number, that know how to levitate shit. Whether you want to believe it or not, this shit's real. And that's sorcery, man. This is magic.
We're literally creating our own reality, manipulating our energy. Don't you see that? Manipulating our energy, creating that mindset, manipulating the mindset and just gathering all tools necessary to creating everything around us. And all walks of life can do that. All walks of life can do that. The route you take might be a little different due to past traumas. But other than that, I mean, we're all capable of it. You just can't settle. You can't settle. And when you're dealing with the bare minimum and you're saying you're okay, part of me doesn't even want to waste my time on it. A part of me doesn't, but I know I need to. It makes me feel good. You know what I mean?
That was fucking humble. For anyone listening, that was humble as shit for Fabian to fucking say, because I was just going to say something not that humble. I was going to say, you guys want to connect with people like us because we have wisdom that is literally life transforming. And as Fabian was saying, we don't want to have to spend our energy and our time on somebody that is just wanting to vent their problems with the intention of, I just want to vent my problems. I don't want to learn from my problems. we're going to spend our energy on the people that want to learn.
Exactly.
So, and if you guys really want to grow and you want to learn how to connect to successful people, now I'm going to say this straight up right now, and I'm going to speak this into existence. It's already spoken. It's already here. It just, you may not see it as that yet. We're going to be very fucking successful. We're already successful. But I mean, on the level that maybe a lot of you people watching are going to be like, whoa, I remember when they did these podcasts, that was like, you know, a couple of years ago. Now you guys are like on stage speaking, or wherever you're at. It's going to be
true success, because some people, you know, success is a spell where you see the dollar sign. That's not true success. True success is happiness, being happy with what you do. You know, spreading the nuggets, passing forward the knowledge. That's true success. When you recreated yourself to the point like you're able to confidently do that. That's true success. And if you perfect it, and if you better yourself, the dollar signs might come. And if they do, cool. If they don't, so be it. You know?
Straight up, man. And we got to get your guys' mindset. And, you know, I had to do the same thing. I had to do the same thing. Fabian had to do the same thing. We learned mad lessons from this because at one point in our life, money was the driver. And I understand that. I do. You know?
How did that work?
Hey, bro.
Name one. Tell me one person who will work for them. Come on. It hasn't.
Man, it doesn't work, man. But this is the thing. It's a good starting place to have motivation at first. But if you're truly just doing it for the dollar bill.
And merely
just that, not for transformation of yourself.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah, you'll hit the place. You're
buying yourself time. You're buying yourself time. That's what
you will hit the place where you get that money. I guarantee it. It may take time. It will take time. But you'll hit that money. And you'll hit that money with the most empty feeling you've ever had in your life. Because you finally got the thing that you worked your whole life towards, and you still feel the exact same when you didn't have anything. So man, that's why the intention.
Most of us have been there, man. Most of us have been there. You know how good it would feel to recreate yourself and become the best you. And then if the money does come along, you know exactly how to live with it. Oh, man. I mean, who cares? You know, you have the money. Say you get the money. Say you get the physical. Say you were able to create that. Say you were able to create that with whatever energy you give out there, whatever extreme you choose. Now you have the money. But if you know, you got to ask yourself, am I truly happy because I have the money? Am I truly, is the money what's making me happy? Or am I truly happy with who I am? If all that money was to leave your side right now, would you be happy? Would you be happy with yourself? Are you passing knowledge? Are you learning? Are you recreating yourself so you can recreate others? Come on, are you doing that? I mean, come on, that's the ultimate job. That's the only job that you can't apply for. You just have to live.
That's right. That's right. And then you get to a place once you've erased the false driver of money being the driver, then you get to a place of you finally get in touch with your real self and your real path. And then money can, you know, money is money once again. It's like, then, you know, you can be like being your best self, knowing who you are, and then money starts to work for you. So you like me and Fabian, we're really good at what we do, and we maintain ourselves the whole way through. Yes, we may have to lower, we may have to get on other people's levels, but that doesn't mean we're changing who we are. We're still being ourselves. We just are smart enough and aware enough to know how to communicate to other people. So the money at that point is still cool because we make money based on how much of an impact we make. So like my paycheck will be higher when I'm impacting more lives. It's not higher because I'm getting by on more people. I'm not getting by on people, tricking them out of, you know, situations. Like I'm not just a good salesman in the sense of, oh yeah, okay, I know how to close you and get you out. Like I know how to close. We're personal trainers. We actually, our money is built off relationship. So I make money by having people like who I am and feel the impact that I constantly make on their life. And
you know how good it feels to keep your good energy. Keep your energy high at all times. Of course, until the past trauma is hitting, you have to figure out the challenge. But keep your high energy at all times, your good energy. You go to work. You do what you do that makes you happy. You're constantly giving out nuggets, helping people grow, trying to grow yourself at the same exact time. You're doing that all for no cost. Then a paycheck comes in. And you're just like, wow, I got paid to grow? Seriously? You gave me money to become a better me. Oh my Lord, man. If you know how that feels.
I'm getting like slight chills from you saying that because
Oh my God, if you know how that feels, bro. I felt like I just took a barbell off my back.
it's like it's literally like and it sounds cliche. Like you hear people say like, oh, I get paid, you gotta love what you do. You hear people say that, but when you really break it down the way we're saying it to you guys right now, it's really that surreal. It really is, because you are literally getting paid to become a better you.
Oh man. And that's literally like, I mean, I can't, this is the first time ever in my life that I created this. That's the first, I mean, it's not going to be given to you. You're not going to be given that type of happiness. You have to work for it. You have to work.
Straight up. You got to work for it. Yo, on that topic,
huh?
On that topic, how would you define and put into words what initiation to you means? The word initiation.
Oh man, I mean the word initiation. To initiate. To be aware of a lesson. Overcome the challenge. And be aware of the end result. And utilizing that to recreate yourself. That's an initiation.
Oh, hold on. On that note, I'm gonna search up the actual definition, and we're gonna compare how close that was, because
I mean, initiation is a spell. You know, it's a spell. So with indoctrination, some people might look at it as something religious.
Yeah. That I couldn't have worded it better though in my own words. That was beautiful. The action of admitting someone into a secret or obscure society or group, typically with a ritual.
You see how it's indoctrination, that the word indoctrination is religious? Or, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's
wait. Yo, and here's the second definition. This is the second one. The action of beginning something.
Exactly. The action of beginning something. The action is creating a sequence of events that will lead you to a challenge that you overcome and use that to recreate yourself.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
and then exactly what you said right after that for the indoctrination part, that was the first definition.
Seriously, man.
And it's like, we didn't search this stuff up before this came out. Okay. I didn't know what the definition is
for the word initiation until Jared brought it up to me. But that word just triggered something in me because I know spiritually I'm doing it for myself. You know what I mean?
Yes, and it is a spiritual thing for sure. Now, what is your, like, how do you define that line between just complete mundane and something being spiritual? Like, what is your view on that? I'm curious.
I mean, spiritual is the energy you get from something that's not physical, man.
Ooh.
The energy and the power and the passion and the feeling you get from something that is not tangible. Something that works inside here.
Because and it's so powerful what's inside here that it can actually create something tangible.
And then it will create something tangible. But who cares about that? That's right now. If that comes, it comes.
Yeah.
Be hungry enough that we do everything we gotta do to learn. And if that creates the physical, then so be it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're hitting some powerful stuff right now. Like, holy shit, man. This is getting good.
We might have to wrap it up though and save it for another time. We do.
I don't know, man. I mean, hey, I'm on here for an hour. I'm down to go in whatever direction this goes right now. I think we did cover enough powerful topics that we could, if we wanted to end it right now, and it would be, good. But yeah, I mean, I'm down to keep going. I'm down to stop. It's up to you, bro.
Let's go. Let's make sure their attention span could correlate with this, and then we'll get back to them.
Okay, so what are you saying?
I'm saying they need to listen to this maybe once or twice, and then they might remember it in a couple of months from now.
Okay. And yeah, honestly, I'm gonna say this from my own experience. Like I've listened to our podcast that we've made, at least 3 to 4 times now. Like I've listened to our own podcast, the ones that we've made, and I'm gonna tell you this: I'm learning from our podcast.
Woof. That's how you know it's power.
And this is not coming from just like when you hear me and Fabian talk like this. Yes, it sounds arrogant. Yes, it sounds like this, but you got to understand this is coming from a healthy ego, because we're more aware than you may think, in the sense of we know that what we're saying right now is knowledge that we necessarily aren't even aware of. It's just flowing out of us right now, so that we are aware of it, but there's certain things that we're learning from it as well. So as we're having this conversation,
the ego, I hate to call it an ego, because the ego is what's driving us, but it's not controlling us, because we still feel that we need to learn from our own content. You know what I mean?
Boom, yo, boom. Say that one more time, please.
The ego is driving us, but it's not destroying us, because we're still learning from our own content.
The ego is driving us, but it's not in control of us, because we're still learning from our own words. That is it.
It's not giving us the cap, it's giving us the hunger. You have to use that ego to remind other people. You have to use that ego to fuel yourself.
The ego is motivation. That is true motivation. That's why when you have these people that feed you motivation, like you hear, like, and I'll name some. You have Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk. I think they do a great job of helping you to build a healthy ego. But I think what they're missing is the spiritual, deeper context to what we're literally directly plugging you into in these conversations. See, what they use is they use business, they use sales techniques to help plug you in, which can work. But what we're giving you is the fucking root. We're literally saying, here's the plug. If you have your socket, then put it in. This is how you do it. And you're going to get the same knowledge too.
You couldn't have said it any better, man, because it's raw content. We're not trying to give you any clickbait. We're not trying to lure you in with things that will grasp, things that would attract you. That's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. If you have a hard time hearing the fucking truth, you might not want to listen to us. You might not want to.
No, of course. And there's absolutely people on here right now that are scratching their fucking skin. And we are under skin right now. I know this because even when I'm in a bad state, okay, oh my God, this just brought a huge thing to my head. When you're in a low consciousness, low vibration place, even though if you like, think of it like this, in that state of low vibration, in low consciousness, and pretty much what it is self-hatred. You're listening to these powerful concepts and you're upset because you don't understand how to get there. But this is the thing. If you were up there, then this would sound like candy to your ears. You would be like, oh my God, this is amazing. I love you guys. So the goal for us is to find why you're at that base where you're at, and to figure out maybe some different ideas of ways to raise your consciousness. I'll give you a great example. Your nutrition, what you're eating, who you're hanging out with. These things can make a huge shift. And I know it just brought some crazy.
That's a whole nother one right there, because this man right here can show you how your nutrition, I mean, it's, everybody knows that term, whatever, you are what you eat, and people throw that around because if you eat fattening foods, you'll be fat. But it's much more than how you're going to look from what you eat. It's more of the spiritual and the mental that food brings you. It's not fuel for the body, it's fuel for the mind as well. And this man is going to get in on that big time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you are what you eat. And if you're eating foods that are high in just refined sugar, high in GMOs, for example, McDonald's, Subway all the time, any fast food place, any type of fast food, and that's your normal diet. And be real with yourself right now. Let's not joke. You can't
If it's
lie.
an everyday thing, do you truly feel that it's possible for that person to be in touch with themselves?
It's not. And it actually can be dangerous. And this is real, what if I told you that if you don't eat healthy and you don't take care of your insides, that this information we're giving you can actually be a little bit dangerous, because we're awakening ancient codes in your genetics right now. And if your body isn't ready for that flow of energy to come through, then that can actually be dangerous.
I mean, bro, there's a McDonald's, there's a fast food chain on every block, on every corner. I mean, the prices of healthier foods like kale is so fucking high. You know, it's just, why is wild caught so much more expensive than farm raised? I mean, come on, it's pretty obvious what society is showing you. It's showing you that the foods that are more affordable is the ones that are worse for you. And you pay for what you get. You pay for what you get, and it's sad that we live in that society. It is.
Yeah, it is. It is. And especially the fact that a lot of people can't even afford to eat healthy, and they don't even try to be able to afford. A lot of people, and this is the thing, it is more expensive, but it's not extremely more expensive once you actually do it and you realize that you don't need that much.
Make the sacrifices for it. Because I even asked you the other day, I said, do you have any bills that you have that you feel that are unnecessary? And you said, I don't feel like this is unnecessary, but my food is a bill because I'm focusing on my nutrition. And some people don't look at food and nutrition as a bill. They look at it as, I'll just get it when I get it. I'll get whatever it is when I get it. They don't look at it as a priority. How do you not focus on your fuel as a priority? But you know what I mean?
I know, bro.
It's crazy when you look at it, when you point it out like that. This is something you're putting in your body to help you get to the next day, but it's not a priority. Jesus fucking Christ. I hate saying that.
And it can literally be that main thing that keeps you from growing. Your fucking nutrition. Like what me and Fabian are telling you, this is like the next level. But the first level is your nutrition. Like that's the first level. You got to get that right first. You got to get some sort of discipline in your life. In the terms, and this is like literally the three, I don't know why I just held the three up like that, but this is like the three main things you got to focus on is your nutrition, some form of morning ritual or daily ritual that you just do. So it doesn't matter what the fuck it is. Just do something, get outside, get alone, get into like a walk or something, go to the gym, whatever it is, do something healthy. The third thing that you need to do is get rid of the toxic people in your life.
And if you don't do it, then I'm pretty sure you're happy with your fucking life.
And by that, he means we know you're not happy with your life. And you're just settling for mediocrity, and it's gonna spread. It's gonna that's the problem. Like we want
you to fix yourself so you don't spread it to other fucking people. We're trying to spread what we're trying to give, and what we're trying to give is opposite of what you're doing. By you doing it to yourself, you're not only harming yourself, you're harming others because you're creating influence. Come on.
And you want to hear you want to hear something funny about what me and Fabian do is like, we've gotten to a place, and I'll tell you this from experience, and I'm sure Fabian can resonate, that we've been in that toxic place before. Like
I've been in it for so long.
You have to be in it to experience it and know what it is. So I've been the person that says things to people that is not good for them to hear. Like I've said toxic things. And I remember being in that state and knowing in my truest intention and to my core that, why am I saying this right now? I would say that, but it was just the only word.
Right when you say it, but you know that's all you know.
Exactly, it was the only words that could come out. Exactly, and now this is the shift. Once you step out of that, and it's a powerful shift. Your automatic default is you say things that are just powerful all the time in a flow state. And yes, a lot of people do not want to hear it though. Like more so than when you're actually saying like real toxic things. Like when you're in the state that me and Fabian are in and we say flowing things, a lot of people don't really want to hear it because
they're
they
intimidated. Yeah, I mean, they get intimidated because no one wants to hear that what they've been practicing their whole fucking lives is wrong. And it's so much easier to disregard it and to continue your merry way. But I can tell you one thing. Could you bring out the deck so we can wrap this up?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And just to wrap, just to say one last thing on that last topic. It's like I'm gonna just put a quick analogy. It's like you're building a Django set, right? Django, the blocks, right? Those little wooden blocks. Now, let's say you have, you gotta have all the blocks functioning properly to build it up and have it stand normally and stiff and with structure. But let's say one of those blocks is like cracked and it's rotting and it's literally like it's just about to diminish. And you're over here building on top of that broken block. You're not going to be able to build it all the way to the top because it's starting to already lean when you're already halfway done. But what if I told you once you're already built it halfway that, hey man, that block at the bottom is starting to decay and you need to remove it in order to replace it with a better block.
How far you're gone. You can always fix yourself. Jared has taught me something, and last week I told him, I said, teaching an old dog new tricks. I said, speak to me about that challenge. He said, it's a challenge, but it's possible.
It's always possible. Yeah, it is. It is teaching a dog old tricks or
teaching an old dog new tricks.
Old dog new tricks. Excuse me. It's true because no person, and I have family members that are in this trap where they built their entire life belief off of a false, egotistical concept, and I can see it clear as day. And if I say anything, it threatens that decaying block at the bottom where they can't remove it, or else everything they believe will result in an ego death. And they can't have that happen because they're scared of becoming better. And that's not true. Like if they knew they were going to become better, then they wouldn't be scared of it. But they're scared of their ego. They're scared of losing it.
And their ego prevents them of taking even in that information that they will become better. It's just ego is just so powerful, but only if you steer it in the right direction, man. It really is.
Man. Our next podcast is gonna be crazy, man. I got a million topics to go on tonight. I could talk for hours, but
let's end it right now because I already see this giving them another hour and a half, and all right, man.
All right, bro. Give me a number.
7.
Ooh, I seen that number today too. That was like
it just popped up.
Look at the time right now, bro.
10:43. Yeah.
Yeah. 4 plus 3 for everyone watching.
You already know.
All right, wait. All right, I'm gonna start it now. 1. All right. So I'm being told by the spirits to pick from the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna draw the card and show you guys.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Right. Wow.
All right, so I'm gonna see what it tells me. Oh my God.
Death of the ego. It told me that death of the ego was a risk you must take.
Oh my God, I just got the same thing. Okay, so this is the way I perceived it. So most people are trapped by their ego and they're blinding themselves with their hand saying, I don't want to experience life. But when you have the death of the ego, then you grab the sword of your own ego and you learn how to control it and create a healthier ego and wield your own ego.
Use that to become a better you, man. Use that to become a better you. I mean, we just finished talking about it. The card said it to you. You know it did. You can't perceive that card any other way.
8 of Swords. And yeah, once again, there's nothing else that can explain that other than that there's powers out there that we don't necessarily spend enough attention on and realize that are operating in this consciousness, in this reality field that we all live in. And me and Fabian are getting in touch with these ancient powers and putting our own energy into this, because we created this just as much as ancient higher powers helped to bring this message down with our energy. Okay, so it's a 50-50. That's the way I like to look at it. And I mean, once again, we were just talking about that, and this is exactly what it's. If you don't see what's going on here by now, then you need to start with your nutrition. You need to get rid of these negative, toxic people, all that stuff. But yo, bro, that was powerful. Once again, man, I'm glad we're on the podcast together. I personally, I swear to God, I know a lot of YouTube channels, but this one is so powerful, and I'm so glad that we decided to do this together. And do you want to say anything before we wrap it up?
All I have to say is keep that good energy, keep that high energy. Of course, until that past trauma hits you, then you learn from that challenge all day, every day. All day, every day. And those of you with bad energy, it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna destroy you. And if you're understanding what I'm telling you and you still choose to have that bad energy, there's nothing I can do for you. Seriously.
Couldn't have worded it better. That was awesome. So I'm gonna plug my Instagram, JER_477. In short, JER_477. Follow me on Instagram. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because these videos are pumping out, and we're doing this like we said originally, like 2 times a week, but now we're doing this like I think this is like the 4th one this week. So once again, the time is 10:47. That's my number. I just said it on my Instagram name. But yeah. Once again, stay tuned, because this is going to take you guys to the next level. We're literally letting you hop on this roller coaster with us. We're fast-tracking you to growth if you're taking it seriously, if you're applying it. Other than that, we're not
the arbiter of truth. We're not a fucking guru. We're learning with you. So realize that. Realize that.
Boom. Yo, I love it. All right. Yo, plug your Instagram, man.
Fit Life Fable. IG is Fit Life Fable. It's my business page, but you can send me any DM you want on any note. Boom.
All right, bro. It was always good talking to you, man.
All right, buddy.